Now you're cooking with Manitoba Chicken and Karen Armstrong.
Chicken is a really versatile meat, and when you buy a whole bird, I'm going to show you a couple of different options that'll really increase your meal possibilities. You can roast this whole bird just as it is, and then if you want to, you could cut this into pieces, and I'll show you how. I'm going to start by removing the legs. To do that, I'm going to take the knife and I'm going to cut into the skin to actually expose the leg joint. And I'm going to pull this apart until I can see the bone pop out there. That's where I want to make my cut. Make sure that you're using a nice sharp knife down through the joint. And there's one leg done. So I'll set that over here. And let's do this other side. So again, I'm pulling it away from the body, cutting down through the skin. I'm going to pull it away so that I can get that bone out of the socket. There it is, right there. That gives me my guide where to cut. And then just cut that skin right there. And there's the other leg. Set that aside. Now I'm going to take this remaining chicken and I'm actually going to flip it over and I'm going to remove the backbone. I'm going to use the pair of poultry shears to do this. You can use a knife, but I really prefer the poultry shears or a really good sturdy set of kitchen shears. And just cutting right along the backbone all the way to the end. And then again on the other side. And then just pull the backbone loose and set that aside. Now I'm actually going to split the chicken breast, but I'm going to actually push down on this to loosen up some of the bones. And I'm also going to trim these pieces right along here. Get rid of those and just get rid of that. Okay, that I'm going to set aside. Now in here I want to actually cut down on either side of this long triangular shaped piece. That's the breastbone. Down on either side. All right. And then now I'm going to flip it over. And I've got part of a cut there. And I'm just going to finish taking this off. And then there we go. So there's one breast. There's the other breast. Now let's get the wings off. So I need to get in, right into the wing socket. And again, use your hands, break it so that you can see where you're cutting. There we go. And you can always trim this afterwards if you need to. There we go. So there's one wing. Let's get this other one done. Cutting in around. And use your hands, get the wing out of its socket. And feel around so you can actually feel where that is. There we go. All right. And then you can just trim these up, get rid of those little extra pieces of skin. There's a little bit, this right here, that's part of the wishbone. So that just comes off. You can break it. You can cut it if you like. Sometimes it's easier just to use your fingers. And then there's some ribs in here that I'm just going to trim off as well. Just makes it a little bit neater. Turn this so that you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Now, all of this, the backbone and all these little bits of trim, you can use that to make a wonderful chicken stock. I'm just going to put these over to the side, and now I'm going to show you how to take some of these parts and cut them into even smaller pieces. So I'm going back to our leg again. Drumstick, thigh, let's cut this into 2 separate pieces. I'm going to feel for the joint, and I'm going to run my knife in just so that I can see where I'm cutting. I'm exposing the space between the 2 bones, and then straight down to your drumstick and the thigh. Let's do that with this one really quickly. And finally, the wings. So I've got the wingtip, the wingette, and the drumette. And I'm just going to trim the tips off this time. And you're looking for the V between the 2 pieces and straight down. And there you have, this is called a split wing. So let's do the other one. Just get rid of this. And then straight down in the V. There you go. Now, you can freeze these pieces just the way they are. I like to leave the skin on pieces in the freezer because the skin will protect the meat from drying out too much in the freezer. If I was going to cook these immediately, I like to take the skin off, and I'm going to show you a really neat little trick to do that. I'm going to start with this chicken breast. Skin can be really slippery, so you need something to give yourself a little bit of a grip. Paper towel is the perfect thing to grab the skin with. So with paper towel in one hand, I'm just going to grab the skin, and it just peels off beautifully, just like that. And then you can trim off the extra little bits of fat. One of the most challenging things to get skin off of is a drumstick. And again, using your paper towel makes it really easy. Start at the fat part, and then just peel it down, get a good grip, and pull. And it comes off beautifully. So once I've got the skin off, I can use these pieces in my favorite recipe.
For recipes, tips, and how-tos, explore manitobachicken.ca.